If you've had diarrhea or vomiting, the biggest risk often isn't the stomach bug itself, it's dehydration. And the tricky part is that chugging a big glass of water can actually make nausea worse. What works better is a simple plan: tiny sips, the right mix of fluids, and a clear timeline for when to level up. In the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly what to sip first, how much to aim for, and what drinks can quietly make things worse. You'll also learn the signs that your body is catching up versus the red flags that mean you should get medical help. This isn't about fancy supplements. It's about replacing what you're losing: water, salt, and sugar in the right balance. If you do that well, you often feel steadier, less dizzy, and less wiped out. Let's start with the most important idea: small, frequent sips beat big gulps every time. Moving to slide 2. To rehydrate well, it helps to know what you're actually losing. With diarrhea and vomiting, you lose water, electrolytes like sodium and potassium, and some glucose. Sodium matters because it helps your intestines absorb water. That's why plain water alone can be a slow fix, and in some cases it can even dilute your sodium if you drink huge amounts. On the other hand, very sugary drinks can pull water into the gut and worsen diarrhea. So the goal is balance. Think of it like a transport system. Sodium and glucose help carry water back into your body. That's the logic behind oral rehydration solutions, often called ORS. You don't need to memorize chemistry. Just remember the target: a drink that's not too sweet, not just water, and taken in small amounts. That single concept explains most of the do's and don'ts you'll hear next. Moving to slide 3. First, decide how urgent things are. Mild dehydration can feel like thirst, a dry mouth, darker urine, or a mild headache. Moderate dehydration often adds dizziness when you stand, weakness, fast heartbeat, and very little urination. Severe dehydration is a medical situation: confusion, fainting, very dry skin, sunken eyes, or not peeing for many hours. For kids, look for fewer wet diapers, no tears when crying, or unusual sleepiness. If you suspect moderate to severe dehydration, or you can't keep even small sips down, it's safer to get medical help sooner rather than later. Rehydration at home works best when you can reliably sip and keep it down. So before we talk about exact drinks, do a quick self-check. That helps you choose the right pace and know when home care is enough. Moving to slide 4. If you're actively nauseated or just vomited, the first phase is all about calming the stomach. Start with tiny amounts. Think 1 or 2 teaspoons, or a small sip every 1 to 2 minutes. Set a rhythm. The stomach handles steady trickles better than a sudden volume. If that stays down for about 15 to 20 minutes, slowly increase to a tablespoon every few minutes. If you vomit again, don't panic. Pause for 10 minutes, then restart with smaller sips. Temperature can matter too. Many people tolerate cool fluids better than warm, but some prefer room temperature. The key is consistency. You're not trying to catch up in 10 minutes. You're trying to restart absorption without triggering more vomiting. This first phase is boring, but it's often the difference between improving at home and spiraling into ongoing nausea. Moving to slide 5. Now let's talk about the best thing to sip: an oral rehydration solution. Studies show ORS works well because the sodium and glucose are in a specific range that improves water uptake. You can buy ORS packets, pre-mixed bottles, or electrolyte solutions labeled for rehydration. The label matters. Many sports drinks are made for exercise, not diarrhea, and they're often too sugary and too low in sodium. If ORS is available, make it your main fluid for the first several hours. Take it in frequent small sips and aim for steady intake rather than a single target number. If you're caring for a child, ORS is usually the first choice as well, because the balance is designed for sensitive stomachs. If the taste is a barrier, chilling it can help. The goal is not perfection, it's getting enough of the right fluid in. Moving to slide 6. If you don't have ORS, you still have options, and you can combine them. Plain water is okay in small amounts, especially if vomiting has stopped, but it's not ideal as your only fluid for hours. Broth or a clear soup can add sodium, which is helpful. Coconut water has some potassium, but it's usually low in sodium, so it's not a complete replacement. Weak tea can be tolerated, but go easy on caffeine because it can worsen jitters and may increase fluid loss for some people. If you're choosing a sports drink, dilute it half and half with water to reduce sugar, and pair it with salty foods when you can eat. The practical rule is this: if you're not using ORS, try to get both water and salt back in, and avoid very sweet drinks. Your stomach and intestines are already irritated. Give them a gentle mix to work with. Moving to slide 7. A lot of people accidentally slow their recovery by sipping the wrong things. Fruit juice, soda, sweet iced tea, and energy drinks are common culprits. The sugar load can pull extra water into the gut and keep stools loose. Alcohol is also a bad idea because it can worsen dehydration and irritate the stomach. Milk can be hit or miss. After some stomach infections, temporary lactose intolerance can happen, so milk may increase cramps or diarrhea for a day or two. Very acidic drinks, like some citrus juices, can sting an already inflamed stomach. None of this means you're never allowed to have these drinks. It means they're poor choices while you're actively losing fluid. If you want one simple filter, use this. If it's fizzy, very sweet, caffeinated, or alcoholic, it's probably not your best rehydration tool right now. Moving to slide 8. How much should you sip? Exact numbers vary, but the pattern is consistent. Frequent small amounts, and replace what you're losing. A practical approach is to aim for a few ounces every 15 minutes once vomiting has settled. If diarrhea is ongoing, try to drink extra after each loose stool, rather than waiting until you feel thirsty. Thirst is a late signal. For kids, small, frequent sips are even more important, and a spoon or syringe can help if they resist drinking. If you're using ORS packets, mix them exactly as directed. Making it too concentrated can worsen diarrhea, and too diluted reduces the electrolyte benefit. If you're peeing light yellow every few hours, your mouth feels less dry, and dizziness improves, you're moving in the right direction. If symptoms worsen despite steady sipping, that's a reason to reassess and consider medical care. Moving to slide 9. Timing matters, especially when vomiting is involved. Think in phases. Phase 1 is the first hour. Tiny sips, mostly ORS or clear fluids, just to keep it down. Phase 2 is the next several hours. Increase volume gradually and make ORS your main drink if possible. Phase 3 is when nausea is minimal and you're keeping fluids down. Start adding light foods, because food can help restore energy and electrolytes too. The big mistake is jumping from nothing stays down to I'll drink a full bottle. Instead, step up in small increments. If you've had a calm 2 to 3 hours with no vomiting, that's often a good sign you can increase the amount per sip. If vomiting returns, step back a phase. This phased approach keeps you from overcorrecting and triggering another round of nausea. Moving to slide 10. Once you can keep fluids down, gentle food can actually support rehydration. Salty, bland foods help your body hold on to fluid. Think crackers, pretzels, rice, toast, potatoes, bananas, oatmeal, or simple soups. You don't need a strict brat diet, but bland and low-fat is often easier at first. Avoid heavy, greasy meals because they can trigger nausea and speed up the gut. Also be cautious with very sugary foods. For the same reason, sugary drinks can be a problem. If you're hungry, that's usually a good sign. Eat small portions, then drink. Some people do better alternating. A few bites, then a few sips. If you're not hungry, don't force a full meal. Prioritize fluids first, then add food as your stomach settles. The goal is steady progress, not a perfect menu. Moving to slide 11. Some situations need extra caution because dehydration can become serious faster. Infants and young children have less fluid reserve, so they can worsen quickly. Older adults may not feel thirst as strongly and may have other health conditions that complicate fluid balance. If you're pregnant, dehydration can affect how you feel and can be harder to manage. People with kidney disease, heart failure, or those on fluid restrictions should be especially careful with electrolyte drinks in large volumes. Also pay attention if there's high fever, severe abdominal pain, blood in vomit or stool, signs of confusion, or repeated vomiting that prevents any fluids from staying down. Those are not waited-out moments. The safest move is to contact a clinician or urgent care for guidance. Home rehydration is great for mild cases. For higher-risk groups, the threshold to get help should be lower. Moving to slide 12. It helps to know what getting better looks like so you don't second-guess every symptom. Good signs include urinating more regularly, urine becoming pale yellow, less dizziness when standing, and a steadier heart rate. Your mouth and lips feel less dry, and you can tolerate larger sips without nausea. Stools often take longer to normalize, so don't use that as your only measure. Another practical check is energy. If you can sit up, walk around the house, and think clearly, you're likely rehydrating. On the flip side, if you're drinking steadily but still not peeing, still feeling faint, or your heart is racing, that can mean you're not catching up. Keep the plan simple. Continue ORS or balanced fluids, add salty foods when tolerated, and rest. Rehydration is often a few-hour process, not a 5-minute fix. Moving to slide 13. Let's pull this into a practical, easy routine you can follow. Start with tiny sips every minute or two, especially after vomiting. If you can, use ORS as your main drink for the first several hours. If you don't have ORS, combine water with salty fluids like broth and avoid very sweet drinks. Increase the amount slowly once your stomach is calm, and add bland salty foods when you're ready. Keep checking your output. Urine color and frequency are simple, useful signals. And take red flags seriously. Confusion, fainting, blood, severe pain, or inability to keep fluids down means it's time to get medical help. If you want, I can also share a simple rehydration kit checklist you can keep at home. For now, if this was helpful, subscribe for more clear, practical health explanations. And leave a comment with your go-to option when you feel sick. ORS or broth. This information is not a substitute for